This podcast is about how to disarm a narcissist. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tell you how to disarm a narcissist because you can't, so you don't. They will always have words to say, mostly lies and slander. And the more you argue or try and disarm them, the more and more shit will spew out of their mouths. Sometimes people who are in relationships with narcissists, they just shut down. When the narcissist starts in and it's something they don't agree, that the spouse doesn't agree with, or maybe it's just a flat out lie, sometimes the only thing you can do is just sit there and be quiet. Slowly disengage yourself from the conversation. Walk away. If a narc has no ears to listen to their bullshit, they will cease talking to you and search until they find someone that will listen to whatever they have to say. So, in short, I'm sorry I couldn't tell you how to disarm a narcissist because, well, actually, I did. The answer is you don't. But in not disarming him, that is how you disarm him. So I did answer the question. But before I let you go, I want to let's go briefly inside the mind of the narcissist. So maybe if we just kind of think outside the box, maybe there are ways to disarm them. For number one, you disarm a narcissist by not giving the narcissist what he or she is seeking. A narcissist is seeking your time, your attention, your energy, your praise, your care, your concern, maybe your money, your compassion, your understanding, your empathy, your pity, your anger, your emotions. Basically, a narcissist is seeking your response. This person is dishonest and highly manipulative individual who lacks a sense of shame and will go to extreme ends to get what he or she is after. Happy people don't get sucked into other people's drama. Happy people learn that some people are toxic, and the best response to toxic people is often no response. Happy people have learned to listen beyond words and judge behavior over intentions and justifications or excuses. You have total control over what you think about and how you choose to respond and behave. You have the right to ignore. You have the right not to care. You have the right to walk away. You have the right to not explain yourself. You have the right to misunderstand and be misunderstood. You have the right to remember it differently. You have the right to take your time and to change your mind. And you have the right to enforce your boundaries with consequences to protect yourself from toxic people. And when I say consequences, I mean that's something you'll have to do, like walk away. That's the consequence to the narc. Hang up the phone. That's the consequence to the narc. Limit your exposure. These are all consequences. Narcissists will also try to bait you to divulge too much information. This information is used to fuel whatever fire they are stoking. Your goal is to suffocate the fire so that it lacks the oxygen to ever burn in the first place. Going no contact is best. If you can't go no contact, then you need to become a boring gray rock. Your answers should be non-answers said flatly and emotionlessly, like, oh, or wow, or I remember it differently, and walk away. Do not elaborate or explain. Another technique is to biff your response. B-I-F-F. Brief, informative, factual, and firm. Ignore all of the toxic rhetoric and respond strictly to the facts at hand. Do not divulge anything else. Do not let it upset you. You have the right to not care what this technically crazy, shameless liar says. You have the choice to not let his or her words inflame your response. Do not take the bait. If you do get caught up occasionally, forgive yourself and move on. In closing, it is possible to disarm a narcissist. You can do it by simply doing and saying nothing. Just realize that you are dealing with evil and block him or her from wherever and whatever. And a narcissist will realize game over and will search for other victims. And keep in mind that the more damage that narcissists succeed in causing, the more satisfaction they get, simply because they are evil. Thank you for listening. Please consider subscribing.